ever felt like life hit you so hard that you can't get up from a divorce, from a job loss, struggling from mental health or debt or some unfortunate physical, emotional, or sexual abuse trauma? Well, you're not alone. My name is Harry Dollywall, and I'm the founder and host of a podcast called Roots to Rise. And I decided to bring it to YouTube because I felt sometimes seeing the person behind the mic or behind the pen, because I also write on medium.com, it's more natural, it's more organic. And who am I? My name is Harry Dollywall, like I mentioned. I'm 32 years old, here, born in Fresno, California, raised in Sac, got to live in the Bay Area. I was married, now I'm divorced. Unfortunately, throughout my marriage, debt had piled up, and not to sound like I'm blaming my wife or ex-wife, but unfortunately, debt got left, and she's gone, but I'm dealing with it. And anyway, that's only making me more resilient and much of a stronger individual. And unfortunately, I deal with ADHD. I say unfortunately because of some of the cons that come with it. However, throughout this podcast or this series, the Roots to Rise series, I will be talking about the pros of ADHD and like how you can overcome challenges if you have ADHD, and just in general overcoming any obstacles. And this whole series, Roots to Rise, is about becoming resilient and being that root who flourishes. And I'm a late bloomer myself, so some of the themes that are going to be included in this video channel, in this channel or podcast. Excuse me, I mean, this is my first time creating this, so if I'm using the word podcast or blog post or YouTube video, just think of it, I'm just using it interchangeably. This is my first time. And feel free to give me some feedback in the comments below. But for now, I'm just running with it. This is my first video. And I know there's many men out there who are struggling with the aftermaths of a divorce, debt, trying to figure out life, what to do, right? Life is so difficult, man. We are not given instruction. I mean, we're given some guidelines from childhood and onward, but as we become older, I mean, there's all these different factors that come in, and it just really plays a role. And I've been through a lot, and I know many of you have probably been through a lot too. And that's what I want to do here with this podcast. I want to build a community of men who've been through divorce, who have debt, who have ADHD, who unfortunately, dealt with sexual abuse, or if you have dealt with physical abuse or emotional abuse, whether it's from family, friends, your significant other. This podcast is for you. This podcast is for us to help other men grow stronger, and and help pay it forward. I mean, I'm grateful that I got to listen to some amazing YouTubers, or know some men in my personal circle that regardless of older or younger, are very successful, and I just look up to them, and they've been a shoulder. And I want to do the same. I've been through a lot, and I just figured, I've always been saying, I'm going to create this. I'm going to create a YouTube channel. I'm going to create a blog post, or I'm going to create a podcast, or I'm going to open up this own business, or etc. I mean, those are some of the, strings that come along with ADHD, because we're always thinking of an idea and we're just always floating around with it. But I said, you know what? Enough's enough, man. I'm 32 years old. Not to say I'm old, and not to say that, the thing is, by the way, I'm Indian, I'm 87% Punjabi, 13% European. So if I were to align with my Punjabi or Indian background ideology, which is you're 32 years old, you're divorced, you're living with your parents, like what's wrong with you, and like you're too old now. But no, I'm not old. I'm thinking from a Western, philosophy, or yeah, Western, yes, philosophy. And 32 is so young. You're still a baby. Like, yes, I get it that 20s are the time frame where you build yourself, right, and the 30 should be flourishing and etc. But everybody's timeline is different. Let me tell you something. You see these fingers? Every finger is different. Now, let that sink in. Every finger is different. What do I mean by that? Every finger is unique. It has its own size, texture. I mean, texture is probably the same. Like own length, right? Own uniqueness to it. And that's how we are as humans. Now, this metaphor, my parents always instilled, growing up, so it's so applicable in everyday life, is that we tend to sometimes reflect and compare ourselves to others, like, oh, this so and so person is here, I'm what's wrong with me? And like, trust me, I have ADHD, man. I sometimes overthink that, like, so and so is doing much better than me at a younger age. Everybody's timeline is different. And another theme that I want to incorporate, that I incorporate in my blogs, and as well as my podcast, is the classic tale of the tortoise versus the hare. Now, the hare, as we all know, had a lot more potential, had all the attributes to win the race in a heartbeat, but the hare decided to slack off and decided to just, slack off and just thought that, hey, it's easy, life's gonna come as is. But the tortoise kept going, step by step by step. Eventually, the tortoise built discipline that the hare lacked. That key is discipline. And in order to rebuild, no matter how difficult the circumstances are, the key to becoming resilient is to build discipline, and always think of the tortoise step by step. And that's what I'm talking about in this podcast, is how to be that root that flourishes, how to be that rose that grew from the concrete. And, also I feel, not just me, I want to bring it up, but I also want to create this a community. Like, I want us to pay this video forward. And that's what brings me here today. Like I mentioned earlier, that, hey, this is my first video, so I'm open to any tips, suggestions. I'm going to get into like editing and all that stuff. But I just figured, it's about time, man. It's about time that I jump in and I start creating this, and open to any also suggestions on like lighting and intro, outro music and all that good stuff. I'm beginning with that thumbnail where I say, hey, subscribe, like my channel, this and that. So that comes to the conclusion of this, my first introductory video, who I am, and what to expect from my video series of Roots to Rise. And if you like this, if you feel like this can resonate with you, please hit that like button, and most importantly, please hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more content. And please feel free to share this video or my YouTube channel as I grow it, with other men, other brothers, want to call them, other tribe men, other late bloomers. Let's get this thing going, man. Let's build this momentum, and I'm not going to be able to do this without you. So feel free to throw down some topics to talk about, and until next time. And one thing I always want to say before the end is, we gonna make it through. All right, thank you, fellas.